All right, so I'm probably going to hit you with like two videos back to back, and these are just going to be back to back because I just need to get these out because if I don't want to bombard this channel every day with a Squid Game video. So I just decided that I'm going to do two videos to release before the usual upload time, which I think for me is 3 p.m. now, so Central Time, by the way. So I am just going to record these videos, and so they're probably back to back, so definitely check them out if you haven't already. But they are predictions and theories and fan theories, all of that I've seen that are pretty cool, I think, and I definitely do believe as well. So one of the first ones, and if you're reading the title, is Il-nam Ji-hoon's biological father? So before we get any further, let's get into subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. Turn that notification bell. Let's get into it. So this is something that was very much so on my mind as well, because the way the show presents itself, the sort of like connection that these two have right off the bat, it gave those vibes that there is something more there than just an ordinary friend. And albeit we could say that that is the case, that they could just be ordinary friends and hit it off from the start, but is there actually something more to this? So one of the things we actually see is a thing that was shown, and this is the first like instance for me as well when I thought that there was something going on here, is this whole being allergic to milk thing that was very much so presented like right in your face. And why else would they be presented, right? So that's something that I really believe there was more to it than I initially thought. And this is a show that doesn't just give you random shit for no reason. It always ends up being something more. Also, there's one part where the old man is asking Ji-hoon if he got spanked a lot, and he's willing to bet he did. And he's pretty much like, wait, how did you know that? And he says, my son did too, and he was just like you. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing for Il-nam to say right there as well. Now, there's usually people that say things like that, like something reminds them of their father, mother, son, daughter. But it was very, so like in that moment when you look back into it, it's starting to make a lot more sense, right? One of the other ones that people suggest as well is the birthday. There is a part when the man asks if it is the 24th, and he says that he says his son's birthday is coming up. Well, we actually learned that his birthday, Ji-hoon's birthday, is 8/26, so that means it was right around the corner. And I thought that that was something also there that I saw people pointing out, and I was like, that's pretty accurate right there, right? There's something more to all of this as well. And I think one of the bigger pieces as well is when they're playing the marble games, and they pretty much say that, and they both pretty much say that they are reminded of the past because of this, because Ji-hoon claims this is where he was raised, all of that. And then we learn also the old man says that this is just like his house, and it just, everything starts clicking more into place as well here. And I think it's very odd and interesting as well that Il-nam would have chosen this game to play. Now, we do know that he was going through a lot as well and wanted to ultimately be here, but many people point out that at a point he was also a VIP, and we see him abandon this as well, and we don't get a clear answer as to why. So, and it looks like he was very much so not interested in playing from the beginning, but there was something that made him change and become a player as well in all of this. And I think that that is pretty much like him seeing his son once the son was chosen, and that's what made him become another player in this. So I thought that that was interesting right there. Now, as we know, that they pretty much played the marble game together, and he let him live. Many people say that he had the dementia and all of this, but I feel like at a point he was very much so conscious of what he was doing and wanted him to go forward. And so I feel like he was very protecting of sorts in a way, but not really trying to be also. But that's if this theory is true and that was actually his son, which could serve for some pretty good quality content come season 2 when we do get that right there. And so I'm very excited to see if this theory does play out, because it would add a totally new layer to everything that's already happened in this series. Jihan now trying to throw down the game, just to find later on that it was his own father that created this. I mean, what a twist, right? If this is the case right here. But I would definitely be open to that possibility. The theory is there, and for now it seems pretty strong and valid, but we will definitely have to wait and see what happens with that. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Jihan and Ilnam are related? Is this his father? And if it is, how do you think that's gonna go with the game and all of that? I could definitely see a scenario where they try to get Jihan to carry on the game's legacy as well and help out with it, as all of that. But we'll see what happens with that. So this is going to tie into my other video, so go check out that other video after this. But since Jihan, we know, is going back because he wants this game to be over, he thinks it is an insane thing that doesn't need to be going on. His hair is now red, so that could very possibly mean he might be going undercover as a henchman, and we'll talk about where those henchmen come from and how this is going to play into season 2 in my other video, so check that out if you haven't already. I could definitely see him infiltrating the next game this way, and then by the middle of it or something like that, they find out who he actually is, and this is where they explain everything about his father and himself. So, you know, that could be interesting, but hey, it might be wrong. There might be no connection at all, and we're theorizing and getting our hopes up, just as we always do at every single show. I mean, WandaVision, American Horror Story, we always set up these expectations that are so high that it doesn't make sense when the show doesn't pull with them. But then when you think about it, without setting expectations, what the show did made sense. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Ilnam is actually Jihan's father, or do you think this is far-fetched and just reaching and trying to connect the dots just because we're done with the show and we just want some more stuff? Let me know down below. But man, has this game exploded so recently. Like, this show is everywhere. I am going to be doing a season 2 series, like I said, but I wanted to get these 2 videos out of the way. We do have another video today, which will be the American Horror Story Asylum Theory, so stay tuned for that. And we do have American Horror Story as well tonight, so very excited when all of that does drop. Anyways, as always, that is going to do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Leave your comment down below on this theory if you think it's legit or not. And as always, check out the video on the left. Check out my other videos on Squid Games. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.